Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of the Business Spotlight. Today's conversation is a little different but very special. I'm joined by Christina Daniel, a grade 11 student from Ross Shepherd High School here in Edmonton. Christina is the founder of Givology RSHS, a student-led charity providing food, clothing, and hygiene products to students in need. What started as an idea has already impacted dozens of lives, and it is still growing. Christina, thank you for being here. I would appreciate for you to start by telling us in your own words the work you are doing through Givology. Christina.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And the work that I do with Givology can only be described as almost a miracle with the people that are helping out and with the amount of things that have opened up through the year. Givology is a student-led, student-run, and student-profited organization. It's aimed at helping students within high schools and within the community of high school get free clothing and free hygiene products once a year. It's held at a high school or of the choosing, whoever signs up. But for the inaugural ceremony, it was held at Ross Shepherd High School. And it is just a really simple, but also very impactful way for students to help others and for people to receive that aid from the students.
Very nice. So, was there a moment that made you feel I need to act? Can you share that moment with us?
Yeah, I tell this story a lot because it's very meaningful and very impactful to me. When I was in my first year at Ross Shepherd High School, we were starting a clothing drive and food drive within my BSA. And so the clothing drive and the food drive was aimed at just giving, to the community. And I think we ended up giving it to the First Nations Food Bank. And so after that, or during that time, a student came up to our BSA teacher sponsor and told him, "Hey, I'm homeless right now, and my father, something has happened, and my parents, out of the picture, and so he's trying to receive aid, or they're trying to receive aid, and so there's no aid being given." And as a last resort, they're going to our teacher sponsor, and our teacher sponsor asked us to give, obviously, which we did, clothing and food from the drive. And that's when I realized that there's not as much help being given to high schoolers, especially ones that have aged out of the system, as a colloquialism. And it's such a saddening thing to see, but it's something that we as high schoolers can make a huge difference with. And so Givology was started in the previous year, so my grade 11 year. And that was when I realized, we need to take initiative because our schools can't just be the only ones creating these donations and making these drives, because even the BSA was the first year doing their clothing and food drive. And so because of that, now I have this, or I had the idea to make it a student-led, student-run, and student-profited organization so that students are able to receive this help and show their families and friends, especially new students, new to the school, new to the city, or whatever. And it came together so perfectly. And people were able to receive, over 500 people were able to receive help in the first year. And I hope so much more in the coming years.
Very good. So, can you tell us for the viewers that who benefits from Givology's work and how have people responded so far?
So anybody within a high school, at least the high school where it's being hosted, benefits because at the doors, students or whoever's volunteering has to just get an ID from a family member. So families of students in high schools can come, friends and people within the community. Each school might have a different policy, but for Ross Shepherd, that was our policy.
I see. So, this is through the students, the families, and through them, their friends also. So,
Yeah,
that's the
friends,
outreach at this.
family, yeah,
Yeah,
community. You just need to somewhat prove that people that go to the school because we need to have some sort of security.
I see. So let me talk about the challenges. What's been one of the toughest challenges that you have faced as a student leader?
Honestly, underestimation for one, but also cooperation. To start off with underestimation, a lot of the time people think that students' ideas won't always come into play, which is true. A lot of the time it takes too much work, too much effort, and people just give up. And even in those situations, it can just be too much. But for Givology, I know that it was a huge dream. Getting thousands of clothing from people, from sponsors, from families. It was a really big, really, really big work that we had to do. But because of the passion within the students, within I, along with a bunch of different other managers, and even the teachers and the principal at Ross Shepherd, this came to be and not only worked, but it thrived. And for cooperation, it's also very difficult to get hundreds of high school students to cooperate who don't have a certain method of communication, who need obviously what form signed, who need parental consent, and a bunch of different ideas and different workings almost. It's just very hard to communicate. However, each student worked to their utmost ability to make sure that there was cooperation. Each manager, because there was managers within the clothing districts, within the hygiene districts, that were making sure that each one of their volunteers under their division and under their control, almost like their authority, were able to receive the proper communication, proper emails, proper letterheads, so that Givology's days could go and flow smoothly.
Yeah, so what I understand, so initially what we thought, but when you step into the action, then you realize that you underestimated. But the good thing that, you also got a lot of cooperation, and through this you have overcome those, the obstacles, correct?
Mm.
Now, let me ask you that how has this journey that facing the challenges and getting the cooperation, this journey helped you to grow as a person and as a leader?
Givology honestly has shown me how much students want to help others. And it's something so beautiful as you see so many different things going on. And then you see a bunch of students coming together to not only enjoy the thrift nights, but to also help others. And you see the passion students have. And especially high schoolers, we're not yet in university. So we're obviously not in our majors. We're not at that point where your university life has been figured out. And so you see all of their passions and all of their desires and all the things that they even want to potentially do in post secondary or just do for their lives come out. And it's so beautiful to see students leading others and to see students helping others. Even on Givology's thrift nights, the days that we were holding the ceremonies and everything going on, you saw students going up to people saying, hey, do you need any help? Helping them find clothing sizes, the managers, the volunteers. It was just such a beautiful ceremony. And so many volunteers and so many students that were there were able to not only receive and show the aid that people needed to receive, but were able to just give their own understanding and their own knowledge to others.
So in the leadership, we talk about three C's, that coordination, communication, and cooperation. So what I understand from you, so through this journey, so not only these three C's, the coordination, communication, and then cooperation skills have increased not only you, but other student leaders also. Am I correct?
Yes, always. And if you didn't have each one of them, then the other wouldn't work. And I've experienced that firsthand from the students at Givology, but also experienced it during the logisticals and when making the websites and throughout every single aspect. You see that you really do need that coordination with the students, you need the cooperation with the students, and you need the coordination, cooperation, and
Communication. Three
oh,
C's, right?
that one, if you don't have communication, nothing else works. But with coordination, cooperation, and communication, everything flows perfectly.
Very good. Now, that you have done the drive. Now, what next for Givology? Any dreams or plans that you'd love to
Yeah.
pursue if resources are not a barrier? Suppose you have no barrier for resources, that what is your plan or dream for Givology?
For Givology, the hope that we want to within the next 5 years is to expand within EPSB and have funding guaranteed by the government. If not, that's okay too. But as long as each school, each high school has the opportunity to give students volunteer hours and volunteer credits, because that was one of the things that led from the student run, student led. Students able to receive their volunteer hours, able to receive volunteer credits and work experience credits from this. and so that each school is able to receive the opportunity to also give back to their community and have students be able to be first on, hands-on with these experiences. And so Givology has received a couple of grants and they have received funding as well. And so we hope in the next couple of years that this funding can be guaranteed so that each school is able to do this easy, understandable, and very much manageable and measurable project within each school.
So what I understand that you are, bit by bit, you are, moving towards your dreams because you have already received some grants. Now you only need the, the guarantee or the continuity of those grants. So
Yes,
I,
we have, yeah.
so I see that, but you are moving towards that, and then a lot of students are benefiting to the voluntary work, and also it is helping them to fulfill their curriculum requirement to complete their graduation. Am I correct?
Yes, yes. We have one guaranteed grant already. We've received it. And we have a couple other grants that we're looking that we think that we're going to get. You know, nothing's for sure, but anything helps, any sponsor helps.
Okay, so I'm almost at the end of my interview. My last question to you. So you are a, the budding, the student leader. So what advice would you give to other young leaders who want to take initiative in their schools or communities?
I would say if you really want to do a project and if you have a passion on your heart, make sure that you don't give up prior to seeing actual results. And I mean that because for Givology, months before even the idea was approved by student staff, by the teachers, by everything, it was just an idea I created and spreadsheets I created and budget templates I created and everything that was just me and myself and my computer. And so if you have that passion and if that passion, you can actually measure it, even if you can't, just keep going, keep at it, and you'll see the fruits of your labor.
So if I summarize what you are saying, that if someone has a passionate intention to do something good, go for it. Give your everything. Don't give up. There will be obstacles, but don't give up. Go for it. It will be realized.
Yes,
Correct?
don't give up. Don't give up before you see the fruits. Keep going.
Christina, thank you again for your courage and leadership.
Of
All the
course.
best.
Thank you so much.
All the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you.